Hello, Wild Wisdom Warriors. Hello, YouTube. Hello, shamans from around the world. Hello, dear mystics. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my journal. This is Lily Kolosoa, of course, and today is a very interesting day, right? It's 7/7/2020. So I kind of wanted to do a little bit more of talking about the mystery side of wellness. And so this is what this, Confessions of a Mystic is all about, you guys. So today I want to talk about this again and talk about the mystery side of the shaman and what it is mostly about the spiritual world and how it operates. So here we go. Let's just talk about some of the things that I don't know. Maybe I can share a few things. So anyway, I thank you, each and every one of you that joined me here. Thank you so much for being here. So this is, of course, my journal. And I'm going to be continuing with confessions and talking about the spiritual mystery, or the mystery that is human being, or the divine human being, and who truly is a human being is. Because our sort of path as a shaman, or our responsibility here as a shaman, the way I see it, is to make sure that we ourselves represent the very foundation for that divine human being. And that's those human beings that are capable and able to stand on this platform of wellness, of true wellness that I talk about, or what I call it's the eternal river of life. And that's the universe, that's the force, the creative force that we human beings operate as in this reality. And so there is a lot of talk about reality, and there is a lot of stuff in our reality right now that is in sort of deconstruct mode, and sort of everything is changing on this sort of spiritual level first, because we do see what's happening in sort of, because the shamans, this is the quantum abilities that I talk about, that shaman can develop. And this is that process of wellness, a foundation of wellness. This is when you are gifted with this ability. What, like I said, Jesus said that this is the ability of being the carrier of that consciousness, of that divine consciousness that is human being, that is a human being blueprint. Okay, that's divine human being. Anyway, hello everybody. Santo, Kajuli, hello Anna, hello Bella. So great to see you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and for all the rest of you that are watching this, hello and thank you. Thank you so much for joining. So today, some tonic water with some tangerine juice and a little bit of that, it kind of. So here we go, you guys. What did I call? Oh, it's virgin mimosa. Okay, it's a healthy mimosa. Hello, Rob. It's a healthy mimosa, you guys. Okay. All right. So here's to all of you. This is a very healthy mimosa. So here's to my dear shamans and mystics out there. Let's talk about mystery. So mystery, power. I'll get to power. So, right, in eternity. I've been talking about eternity quite a bit. And so this is sort of that. I don't know, because this is on the individual level. If you don't quite understand eternity, or you don't stand in eternity, so the rest of the stuff, like I said, it wouldn't make any difference. It wouldn't help much, because you can't, unless you recognize that yourself as this mystery, as this one, or that like I talked about the last time, about the principle of all is mind, the universe is mind, that everything is mental in this universe. That's the Gnostics, sort of the original Gnostics teaching. So here's to all of you guys. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Annabella, cheers. So, as Gnostics talk about this sort of principle, right? As well, and the heavenly frequencies and all of that stuff, and all about the, like I said, about the Sophia falling and all of those mysteries, they're actually for our sort of stories, for our conscious mind to align our own being to that mind of it all, to the universal mind, or whichever you want to call it, or that living field of creation, as I used to refer it to that field of creation, that living, which is, maybe you can say this is the God field. If you would want to say, okay, Lily, what would be God to you? This is what it is. It's this eternal river of life. And so, and this is how you come back to eternity, through the mystery and action. And this is why, like I said, that most of shamans that do the work on this level and for those of you that know that you have some sort of a mission here, and you got to do this spiritual sort of transformation and transmutation, and where that comes from, that usually, so I want to, and I know that a lot of you guys have been here and you've studied the spiritual, you studied the myth, you've studied the mythology, you've studied all the sort of the mystery. A lot of you had studied occult and what all of that is all about. And so in today's world right now, as we are literally almost at the end of the revelation time. We're coming to that period, as you guys remember, in my 2016 graph, I said 2021 would be a year that would be a marker for us where we are actually going to be moving into a whole new sort of experience in this reality. And why was that is, this is, like I said in the past, of course, there's always, a few years back or forth, but I also, like I mentioned in the past, there's also signs in the sky that it's been given to us for this. And so all the alignments, all the things that's been happening, and like recently, all the eclipse and all of the things, and the signs in the sky, and why those are as mysteries, and why the occult, and why I talk about occult in which way, that you can only gain occult. And I liked how original Gnostics approach, because they teach you how to attain gnosis yourself. Meaning, and then I came and talk about shamanism, and how true shaman always knows that um, he is only a facilitator. He's not a healer. He's a facilitator, because each individual, each human being has to become a healer himself. And this is what original Christianity and original Jesus teachings, before it was all turned into dogma, turned inside out. What was it about? It was about empowering others. What did Jesus said in his original teachings? You are like me. You can do what I can do. So this is basically what a cult is. This is what is hidden. And then what we have is all these tricksters with dogma religion and all of these tricksters that then step in as representatives of that power, of that eternity river that, like Jesus said, it runs through you. It's within you. So, like I mentioned in the past, and there's tricksters and salesmen that will come in and try to sell you something, and try to sell you spirituality, try to sell you hermetic principle, and try to share. All right. Hello, Paul. Did I say hi? Bo, hi. It's virgin mimosa, Bo. Not champagne, virgin mimosa, tonic water, and a little bit of cuties juice in there. Deanne, hi. Did I say hi? Hello, everybody. Okay. Santo, you said something, but you don't want to be stuck in the mind. It's so good that you said it, because that's great. Because this is like, mine has connotations of the mental sphere, and so many people are stuck in the mental sphere those days. And this is where how the tricksters, this is the first belief system the tricksters will do. They'll separate your mind from the higher mind. And they say, you separate, you stuck in it, you're in it. They've convinced you, Santo, that trickster had convinced you that attaining conscious higher state of being because that's basically what you're saying. Being stuck in the mind, having a belief or having a structure in your mental, in your own conscious mind, that it is below or does not have access to the higher mind or mind of it all. So you bought in by having that structure that you're separate. You bought in. That's the first sin, by the way. This is how you recognize when someone does not have access to the higher mind, because then they have this amplified illusionary system, belief system, to where, because the lack of connection to higher mind is what creates that little mind that they do actually have to feel bigger. So to puff it up, they have to make other human beings believe that they have first no access to higher mind. And this is where that belief system is rooted. To where if you believe that you could be sometimes stuck in the little mind and you can just be stuck in that mental sphere, the reason you feel stuck is because you have that system, belief system, that this does not belong with your higher being. And this is how they kind of stick those, things, and that they fracture your mind through that belief. And then you yourself, through that belief, believing that when you start thinking about the higher mind with this little mind, your own ego will attack you because you be going against that belief system, right? So you'll be going against your own belief system. You'll be going against your own higher mind. Okay? And so because you have that belief system, so now that belief system has to run, right? And keep you there in that level. So it will offer you, all kinds of healers. And even the reason why you would want to go, and this is just like in church, someone got in there and disconnected in your mind, and someone in there went and chick and said, you in here don't have connection to the higher self. That is still you. And so, and we basically, through those belief system, by accepting this and all of that and saying, well, yes, and I totally understand what you're saying, then the people could get stuck in the mental sphere these days. But these days, you actually understand whose mental sphere is that prison. People are stuck in their own belief systems. And what we see as that mental sphere, and you say, oh, people are just stuck in all of these belief systems. But if you're aligning your mind to or like I said, when you're on the path of transformation and you're returning your power, you can belittle your own conscious mind. And that's what ultimately the enemy does. Through all the beliefs into external help, external salvation, external thing, and what they all fail to say is that it's all built on that original belief, or the original sin is that disbelief in your own self. So the healing then, the true healing, Santo, starts when you take responsibility for committing that original sin against your own self and against your own divine being. So, and even though you might have been little when you've attained that belief system, maybe it was forced on you, but as soon as you become an adult, now you're responsible to release that belief system. So see, I always talk about not discarding yourself. But look at the frog, you guys. Look at the frog. The frog is born. It's a little thing with the tail. I forgot what it's called. Hi, Natasha. It's with the tail. It uses its tail for a while. And then what happens to the tail? When you look, and for those of you that are into biology, when you know what happened, actually, that tail ultimately, through the process of repurposing, becomes frog's legs. The tail, the time is the tail gets smaller and smaller, and the legs are growing and growing and growing. Okay? So what happens there? What happens if the little frog with the tail gonna look at the frogs and say, oh, I need to grow legs and I don't need to have tail. So the little frog goes and says, I'm going to chop off my tail. At least I can do that. And then you have nothing left to grow your legs with. And this is what ultimately people do, that discard their conscious mind, that belittle their conscious mind. And then they have these belittling belief systems. And it's this is what they do. They cut off the tail first, and then they think then somehow magically somebody else will give them that power. They don't have the power because they can't move. They don't have the legs, so no power. But because confusion and discarding and dividing, separating and separating within your own self, because that's what those belief systems do. They separate you as a whole being. This is the same thing I talk about, the twin flames. It is ultimately stands on a foundation of being separate, being divided, not being whole. And so for people that claim to be spiritually whole, to hang on to that separation belief system, and they're stuck, and they feel like they're stuck. Because, yeah, you chopped off your tail and your legs can't grow. And so you're just left for dead, basically. And I mean, that the one thing is, speaking about people chopping off their tails and so not growing any legs. Jeff, you laughing? Screaming Jim, hi. Hi, Jeff. Paul, you asking, what does it mean when music appears in your dream? Okay. Dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. That means that's the conversion of dust to dust. The nanotech. Nanotech's been reprogrammed. It's glitching right now. Okay, you guys, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of nanotech is glitching right now. Have you noticed? Natasha, I said hi, right? Okay. Tadpole, right? Tadpole. Thank you, ladies. So imagine how people with their own belief systems do that to themselves. And this is a big problem with humanity, like I said, is because this is a Stockholm syndrome. And this is happening exactly as is happening in Russia. People become self-abusive. Okay, this is what happens. That abuse continues because people have this and they believe that it has to be, because they have to keep the suffering going, because the ones that can only have access through the suffering field to humanity, you know who that is. So do you understand how many of the people, and many of them, like in the media, I'm talking about, I was talking about this in the past. In the media, many of them are willingly and knowingly are blood market operatives. Willingly and knowingly. Okay? But a lot of people have no clue what they are supporting. So many are clueless to what foundation and the kind of bloody foundation they're standing on. They have no clue. They have no understanding of what's going on. It just Like I said, if you don't want to, just go look outside. Who's suffocating themselves? Who's putting diaper on their mouths? This is what we're dealing with people that don't even have understanding, and they're supporting evil. Like many of this, as you guys notice, okay? They know not what they do. Candace, you're absolutely right. And so that's why you can just only look at like, they don't know what they do. Today, I was on the walk in the on the trail in open space here, where there's coyotes and stuff, and there is a lady, a young mother, with her maybe 1-year-old, maybe 1.5, wearing a diaper. That's what I call those muzzles now. The baby was wearing a diaper, and so is her. So me, I see the stupidity. So I come up to her and I said, "Why aren't you letting her breathe?" And she just looks at me. Are you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious. Do you understand that OSHA requires 21% of oxygen to the brain? That's the requirement. And I said, with this diaper on her face, she's getting the most is 15.5. The most, because she's in open air right now. I said, do you understand what lack of oxygen does to your child and to the development of that brain? Do you understand, you mother? Do you understand that a lack of oxygen to your young child's brain will damage your child's brain forever? I said, freaking mother of the year, suffocating your own children. And then you're gonna cry why your baby's underdeveloped? Because you put a fucking diaper on its face when it needed oxygen. That's the mothers. They take care of the baby. They take care of the baby. They're so smart. They're protecting the baby. Do you think she took off that diaper after the baby face? No, she didn't. She kept suffocating her baby. So, these are the same people that suffocate themselves spiritually. Those are the ones that you see online that go for christening of their baby, and then their Catholic priest is hitting their baby, and that stupid mother and that stupid father are standing there while the abuse of their child is happening. They're standing there and taking it. And they're going to tell me that they don't have Stockholm syndrome, that these people don't love their abusers. So you believe them that you don't need to be mind sharp, because the demonics don't want you to be sharp, Santo. They keep telling you you need all of that fucking George Cavazos healing, didn't you, Santo? How much healing did you get from him? How much projection of that evil have you got from him? Have you released it all? It's not happening in the mind, in the little mind. It only can be released in the little mind by fully aligning to a higher being that is you, and then trusting your higher self to carry you through, to give you the power, the willpower, like that butterfly, that before it's butterfly, it has to chew through the crap. That's what we need to do. This is, like I said, for shamans, we're going through fire right now. Everything that you think you can carry on into your new reality, into that higher reality, you think you carry your belief systems with you, or you can throw a tantrum if your belief systems are not going in with you into new reality? Yeah, cocoon. You gotta chew through cocoon. That's the transformation. Does that worm sit in there and sits and waits for its wings to show up so it can take a flight? No, it doesn't. Right? Okay, Savannah, hi, and I will elaborate on the glitch. I'm seeing a lot of it. This spiritual war has been here for ages, you guys. So this is not something. So like I said, we have a very small amount of people that are truly awake. We have only 3% of the population that even can comprehend the spiritual aspect of this war. Many see this as for those, and you mentioned, Santa, you mentioned clowns. And this is what clowns keep it at occult, because clowns have to keep it at satanic network level. They can't go into eternity. Okay, they can only trick people. No, Bull, I didn't think you you were laughing at that. There was nothing to laugh about the baby. But I mean, and this is, and she looks at me like I am crazy. You know, and this is the problem today. And so diapers as a mask. I know, it's like that's not, I know her, and you know that diaper is not supposed to go on our face. You don't know where a diaper goes? Oh Lord. All right. So anyway, so I'm going to talk about a little bit about the glitch. Okay. Have you guys noticed how many of the nanotech pushers, salesmen, and all of those people, this is your Club Idiots Assembly? What are you guys noticing with Club Idiots Assembly? What is happening? What kind of chaos are you observing? What's happening? Do you see a lot of rats turning on each other? Yet I really don't have much time to look at what's going on with you know, with with a lot of, I'm really busy with a lot because there's so much unraveling right now. And we're gonna go. So today is actually kind of You know how 2020, and so before 2021, this is kind of like I said, 2020 is that peak year to where we're gonna peak. So today is kind of mid of that year, mid year of the peak. So now we kind of be that sort of the way I see it energetically, the way that the restructuring on the collective level is going to take place right now after July and going into, especially going into September and going into fall. And as we come towards the end of the year with all the rest of the sort of markers coming together into place, but after this summer, sort of right now, we are at the top of the mountain on the collective level. And this is energetically. I'm not saying that this is how long it will take to manifest. I don't know, maybe by 2021. But what I'm saying is, this is what we feel. I don't know if most of you probably already felt there is a release of pressure. Schumann resonance sort of been up and down quite a bit. That's also indicates the release of pressure. The only way I can explain this how it actually feels on a physical body here. It's like a expansion, and within this is your own sort of spirit. So the breath, and funny is it, right, that they're trying to block our air. This is basically why they're making us to wear masks, right? To block our air, so we don't breathe the air in, so we don't take enough air in. Because we don't, we refuse to pay taxes. Remember what I said? This is where it's really stems from. This is the punishment from the draconian system. And so now, speaking of that, right? So now you guys know, and like I said, everyone that was talking about coronavirus and how to even, those healers, how to heal from it, what to do from it, they're all part of this game, part of this deep state game. And they're all by raising their hand about the coronavirus stuff, right? What they said. I am with deep state. I'm with deep state. I'm going to buy humanity. You're going to have to pay for your air you breathe. The Earth's magnetic field is changing. Similar to sun. Yeah, it's this is a living being. And so we're going through a lot of changes. And this is what I'm saying, that the restructuring has been taking place for at least 5 years. But Ramus, hi, great to see you. Yes, you're talking about the crap and the heaviness, the nano heaviness has passed the point. In I mentioned in the past, there was some technology that I was exchanged hands. And so through that, there was there was a lot of work in the background and things like that I feel is happening. And so there is going to be more of that sort of release that we're going to feel. Okay, so but I'm great. You guys feeling it too, and so that means things are picking up speed, and it's amazing to see sort of, but underneath that, as it releases, sort of, we're filling in the space. We're filling in the space within sort of collective, but we are doing this now by being one with this mind of it all. Now we're capable of restructuring a collective field. right? Meaning, or you can, if you look at it in a way, we can um, uh, read the true record, Akashic record. And so this is what happens. The true reality, this is how you access true reality, and some call it the true Akashic record. And so as we expand, and like I said, we are that quantum computers, biological computers here in human form, as we expand our own higher minds, we're working through that Christic consciousness. And so you are now Christed through the Holy Trinity. I'm gonna be biblical. Oh, you guys, I can't stand this people that abuse children that call themselves Christians. It just, I wanna take these people and like just even that how they dirty up that sort of knowledge and that what it truly means for humanity. And so, but we'll get to it when we get to eternity. Right now, let's talk about mystery. So, a 4D black matter cube. Well, yeah. So black matter is that the time machine. It's the time machine, I guess. You can call it that too. Um, so you guys seen glitches and stuff like that, right? And things like that. It's been really glitchy and stuff like that. What I'm noticing in a lot of people, I'm noticing a lot of panic in certain bloodlines. What can I say about that? But not say anything because Susanna, Сюзанна, твои огни уж так заманчиво горят. Susanna, 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 what can I say so you don't freak out? So we're talking about, you guys remember how I told you how like Goyim TV and all of those supposed truth speakers that are organized, they're talking about, but little just giving little push out there to humanity, it seems like, but a lot of control behind. Okay, so you will see they're switching their mask, right? And so like and you will see a lot of them. So like, okay, you guys remember, you know who Scamalot Productions, you know who that is, right? Scamalot Productions have new faces out there in the alternative media that people think they're independent. They got whole new people. Okay. I told you what Goyim TV, what kind of agency that is. Okay. And what was going on? You guys seen how many connections is closing in on that agency, isn't it? Things are closing in, but like I told you guys, there's one umbrella. Okay, there's one umbrella here, so don't believe those tricksters that are out there saying that they're not working together, okay? So they are starting to panic. And so the magnetic you're talking about, so this is they're starting to panic because they're starting to realize about that. Because remember how I told you what were they really protecting? Experiments, genetic experiments, DNA experiments, right? Because like I said, you guys, children and all of that stuff, for certain activities, that's one thing. Even for activities that has to do with blood market, even for that, right? Then there is also the other thing is the experimentation and genetic experimentation. So now when you take that and turn and flip it on certain can't say it, you guys, but I hope I give you enough to understand. You flip that inside out and what it does. Space does dust to dust, basically. That's what it does. And so, and then what you guys might see is what or some call it, then suicide weekends happens and things like that. And this is and people that are of that sort of that are under that control are completely operated through that system. Their reactions are going to be quite strange, and this is why you seen a lot of them are attempting to run and hide and things like that, and a lot of the pharma pimps in mainstream media are being very nervous right now and very scared because they're worried that people will find out what they really protected, and they could never imagine that could ever come a point of that revelation time that you know it's just, I mean, prophecies, you guys, I mean, more than anybody, prophecies, it's all gonna come through. There's no escaping of judgment. I mean, there isn't, like I said last time, you should have read the Bible, bitches. Okay, so how about that for confessions? Okay, but you understand. So what happens is when all is sort of is standing there naked for what it is, so that you see the darkness for the darkness. You see the light for the light. You see the neutrality for its neutrality. You see yourself for who you are, and that's just the way, sort of. But see, the thing is, and that's the power, because ultimately the illusionary system does not have a power. It only has a power through the belief systems. And this is why when I started talking about the importance of releasing those belief systems, because those are the monkeys that will keep your conscious mind imprisoned, believing that you don't need to align yourself to a higher being. Like I said, if you are not a warrior standing in the river of eternity, you will not withstand any storm. You will not withstand this life. You will not withstand eternity. Because, like it or not, the eternity is going to hit you. And if it hits you and you don't understand, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do if you believe that your salvation or your spirit or your soul will be saved by some pastor that's abusing children, or by some church or the Catholic priest that's abusing children. It's your responsibility as that divine human being to attain that divinity. And this is what all the mysteries, all the myth in the past are all about. It's about individual attaining that, attaining, becoming the mystery, and becoming the power, and becoming the eternity. That's the metamorphosis. That's the metamorphosis. And the thing is, you guys are asking about, these people, like Santo, like you said, they live in their little mental illusionary bubble. Have you noticed how powerless are these spiritual gurus when they have no followers? They can't even face someone like me for a conversation. They run and hide. Where's your spiritual guru, Michael Kavanagh, everybody? Where's your spiritual guru, Michael Kavanagh? All of you that believed in Michael Kavanagh, that he's gonna get you there. Who's gonna help you? Is he helping you now? Or is he had to pull a disappearing trick on all of his followers? What happened there? What happened? Why is Goyim TV running in different directions? So, what would it take? Why do you think somebody like Michael Kavanagh would do that? Would disappear like that? And then try to do something from behind the scenes? Why did he betray you all and try to run and left you all taking responsibility? All the abused ones right now are crying for their abuser. Oh, where's the abuser? What happened to him? Somebody, deep state killed him. No, he left you because he only cares about his ass. He only cares about saving himself. Running. They're on the run. They're on the run, you guys. You haven't figured that out? Is any of any of you guys out there that thought that he was gonna help you out and cover for you and you're all safe with your blood market activities? You were all safe over there at GoMTV. You were all safe. Oof. Hello, Jean Benet Ramsey. I'm gonna go back that far, you guys. I'm gonna go back even more further. I'm gonna come back further. Okay. So, and this is what I posted in Wild Wisdom Warriors, you guys. You're warriors. Warrior is a super empath, like I said, that lady about that. What the power you hold, and this is the other thing, is the belief systems also take your power away. They take your mystery away and then take your power away. Because imagine how powerful of a master you become. You become Jesus yourself when you find a way to align your being to the mind of it all, to the creation itself. Roger White, Yeah, he didn't do that very well. He didn't do that very well. He was given a very short notice. Was it a suicide weekend? Roger. So, yeah, there are so many. And see, because a lot of them, they are all puffed and all of that because they never thought that their secrets would be unveiled and unraveled like that. Um, UFO, Darcy, you asking about UFO. It's well, there is technologies, like I said, they're mostly underground. There is some other places there that but for now, I'm going to talk about mostly underground. But what happened is it's been infiltrated like everything else. It's been infiltrated, and then it's infiltrated at the top, and then the bottom people, they don't ever know. There's always a system. The lie is different on each level, and so I mean, when you look at it, how organized it's been ever since, and when you look at people that talk about it, even I don't know, Alfred Weber, let's say. Alfred Weber admitted many multiple times in his recorded videos, he admitted that he was prepped and raised at the farm, as at the Club Idiots Assembly farm, and prepped to be the UFO guy in media. I mean, he didn't cover that. He never hid that fact. He was open about it. He was saying that, yeah, that's what he was gonna do. That's what they told him. That's what he was being raised at the farm for, to do what he did. He didn't hit that. They didn't. They didn't. Because, see, I don't know how to explain this, but you guys will know this. You will know this. Because if you're a mystic yourself, if you're a shaman yourself, you'll know this. And you'll know this. And if you yourself attain the unity with the spirit of creation, then you'll recognize this other people, and you'll recognize that they don't have intelligence. They do not have divine intelligence. They only pretend well that they do. Their intelligence is artificial. It is stolen. It's stolen genetics. So, when you recognize the divinity within you, this is, you recognize the unlimited intelligence or access to gnosis, like original Gnostics say. Bye, darling. Like original Gnostics say, access to gnosis. This is what you have. Direct knowledge. Direct knowledge. And the future. You cannot, and this is what I say, how can we, those of you that claim to be true shamans, go out there and project fear onto humanity? What kind of shamans do that? What kind of healers do that? What kind of healers, Santo, like, what kind of healers, like holographic kinetics or something, will submit you to those demonic powers and convince you that those demonic powers have power over a human being? that is a divine human being has access to eternity, to mystery, and to power. What kind of scumbag will teach humanity that? See, and you guys. So those of you that know, you know. You know. You know, you guys. Okay. Oh my God, 1 hour. Okay. So the ETs thing, there is technologies, there is flying objects and things like that, but and there is creatures that look like ETs and all of that stuff. Genetic manipulation. There's so much genetic slicing's been going on, slicing and dicing, and there's so much crimes. This is why the judgment has to be here the way it is, and you guys will see the connection, who was doing all. And like I told you before, all of these little agencies that work under this dogmatic media companies, spiritual companies, all of this blah blah blah, like C60. I mean, it's a nanotech that produces those pills, and people willingly, knowingly sell those, and then they themselves take them. There's people that take those C60. When you look at them, do they look healthy to you guys? They don't look healthy. And like I said, they were prepping them, but now they don't have the technology to activate them. So now they're just being sick. So it's all, of course, everything crumbles, Candace. Absolutely, everything crumbles. So Satan, your kingdom must come down. It is definitely coming down. Poor old Cliff High. Cliff High served deep state all of his life. He's been that bitch for deep state all of his life. And all he's got is freaking cancer from them. That's how they treat you, Santo. That's how they treat you. That's how they treat you. When you, like I said, these people, when they don't have a use for you anymore, or God forbid, you created an issue for them or for their purpose or for Scamalot Productions, God forbid, then what will they do? They will eliminate you. So why do you think some of them have to stage their own death or try to do some this or that or try to create drama or try to rat on others? There's a reason for everything, you guys. You watch the whole thing crumble. But as shamans, well, no, we'll celebrate. And it's time to dance. We're going, so the fire sort of, we are burning off, and this heat, the heat is so on. It's burning everything off. It's like all this illusionary power or illusions, they're just burning off into dust. Into dust. You watch. You watch that network going down the hill now. It's been tough, but we're there, guys. We're there. We're there. Okay? So now the snowball gonna roll down. So you know who? Uh-oh. All right, you guys. I've been here for over an hour. Interesting, right? There is things that but I will come back. There's so much going on, but the snowball is huge, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for liking videos. Zuzi, you want to say bye to everybody? Say bye. All right. I love you all so much. Thank you again for joining me. Thank you for liking these videos. And until next time, you all mystics, you stay wild out there. Mwah. Bye, everybody. Susie!